My parents gave our entire inheritance to my golden child sister, then showed up 7 years later, demanding to see my kids, so I investigated their real motives and what I discovered about their desperate scheme shocked everyone. 7 years ago, my parents Howard and Meredith Cruz made their choice crystal clear. When my grandmother died, leaving a $200,000 inheritance to be split between my sister Carmen and me, they convinced her to change the will. Every penny went to Carmen for her business venture that everyone knew was really funding her drug habit and her boyfriend's gambling debts. I was 26, married to James for 3 years, pregnant with our first child. We'd been saving for a house, planning carefully, doing everything right. My parents sat me down in their pristine living room and explained why I didn't deserve the money. Carmen needs it more, my mother said, her voice taking that familiar condescending tone. You have James, you have stability. Carmen is struggling. My father nodded along. Family takes care of family, Natalie. You've always been the responsible one. Carmen needs our help to get back on her feet. The money disappeared within 6 months. Carmen's business venture never materialized. Her boyfriend left anyway. My parents never acknowledged what happened, and when I brought it up, they acted like I was being greedy and selfish. James and I bought our house anyway. Through careful saving and sacrifice, we built our lives without them. I gave birth to Emma, then 3 years later to Sophie. My parents sent cards for birthdays and Christmas, but maintained distance. I thought they'd finally accepted the boundaries I'd set. Then last Tuesday, they showed up at my door unannounced. We want to meet our granddaughters, my mother announced, pushing past me into my entryway like she owned the place. We've given you enough space. It's time to heal this family. My father followed, already scanning my home with calculating eyes. Nice place you've got here. Must have cost quite a bit. Emma, now 7, peered around the corner. Sophie, 4, hid behind her sister. They'd never seen these strangers before. Girls, go play in your room, I said firmly. They scrambled upstairs, sensing tension. We have rights as grandparents, my mother continued. We've been patient long enough. James emerged from his home office, tension radiating from his shoulders. You can't just show up here demanding anything. This is between family, my father said dismissively. You wouldn't understand. That evening, after they finally left with promises to return soon, I made a decision that would change everything. I called our family therapist, Dr. Sarah Mitchell, convinced she could help establish healthy boundaries, Natalie. Reconciliation is always possible with proper communication, Dr. Mitchell assured me during our phone consultation. Perhaps a mediated conversation could help everyone move forward. The therapy session went exactly as my parents planned. They arrived early, charming Dr. Mitchell with stories about their difficult daughter who'd cut them off from their grandchildren over a simple misunderstanding about money. By the time James and I arrived, the narrative was set. Dr. Mitchell spoke about healing family wounds and the importance of grandparents in children's lives. My parents nodded along, playing their roles perfectly. When I tried to explain the inheritance manipulation, my mother's eyes filled with tears. We only wanted what was best for both our daughters. Carmen was in such a dark place. Money isn't worth destroying family relationships, my father added, his voice heavy with practiced sorrow. Dr. Mitchell turned to me with gentle disapproval. Natalie, perhaps it's time to consider forgiveness. Your parents clearly love their granddaughters and want to be involved. I couldn't finish the whole story in this short. The full story is on my channel and link below.